Hello. I presume everyone can hear me. If anybody's out there watching, yes. Woohoo! Hi. Oh, right. Look at that. Crimson Owl Comics. Can everyone hear me? Can anybody give me a comment back? Is my mic okay? Just pour some whiskey while I'm doing this. Russ is drinking. Can you hear me, guys? Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me? Yeah, excellent. Okay, thanks everyone for turning up. I'm shocked and pleasantly surprised. Hello, Brian. Hello, Leroy. How are you? Hey, Crimson Owl Comics. Look at that. People saying hi. Fantastic. Thank you. Right. So yeah. I have streamed before. Sorry about the bright light just here. I've got to sort this camera setup out. Most important thing is to be able to see what I'm doing here. So this is a commission, sketch cover commission, and hopefully as I get more and more used to doing this kind of stuff, I'll be able to get the cameras sorted out more and get them looking better. I'm not going to be particularly interesting because I'm really crap at talking while I'm working, but I'll do an hour or so and see how far I get. I'm going to be using mostly, yeah, that's a soft one, the Fuden Osuki, or the Tombow brushes. They've got a really nice line to them, especially for this kind of thing. It's quite fine detail because you're working at actual size. So there's no real need to use a brush. I might use some thicker ones in a while, but I'll get on and see how far I get this evening. Let's just okay. Let's just get straight in. I've got my floppy glove on because I can't find my right one. It'd be really good if you could have some music on in the background. What I might do actually is in the last few live streams that I've done of artwork, I had some music on in the background from BB Black Dog. They're a British band. They're a steampunk band. They've got some really good stuff actually. And I put that on in the background just so there was something else, so I didn't feel like I had to talk all the time. So this, I'll be giving away a few secrets of the way I do sketch covers. I do the sketch first digitally. I lay it out as digital pencils, and then I rub it down onto the cover. If I'm doing a sketch cover at a show or a convention, then I've obviously got to do it the more traditional route. So what I'll do is I'll do a sketch on a piece of A4 sketch pad just to get it right, because the last thing I want to do is just go straight onto somebody's hard-earned, hard-paid-for sketch, blank sketch cover, and go off and screw it up. It's the last thing you want to do. So I tend to do a preliminary sketch when I'm at a show anyway, and then transfer it on by eye. But like I say, I do most of my pencils these days digitally. So I just take it, I just do it the normal way digitally, and then print it out, take a trace of it, rub it down onto the cover, and you end up with this. Not used to doing this with all these cameras about, but should probably get used to it, because that's what you seem to need to do these days. Get yourself on a stream and show people your stuff live. The nice thing about it is connecting with people. That's pretty cool. People get to see, what you can do. You don't have to wait for a show. But I'm always quite nervous about drawing stuff live, but I've got to get over that. It's very much wanting to be in control all the time and have the perfect line. And it's also about confidence as well. Confidence in your own work. But you ask any artist, they're all bloody same. They're all paranoid and fantasists a lot of the time. People say. Yes, yeah, good to see you as well, Ronnie. Hi, Sim, how you doing? You're not the only one, Russ. Yes, indeed, I'm not the only one. Oh, right, okay, yeah. See if you can see. There you go, Leroy. Hi, Todd. Good to see you. Yeah, good. Oh, hi, Meredith. Have you ever had a muscle spasm and crewed up a line? What do you do? Well, you just make it up, and hopefully you don't have another spasm. I'm hoping I'm not going to have one tonight. I think I kind of, as everyone knows, I love Bronze Age artists, and a lot of those guys were doing things so quickly and so professionally. It's quite I think it's quite a high bar to set yourself against. I'm never going to reach that kind of height, I don't think. But you've got to give it a go. You've got to give it your best. And something they did. If you look at some of the Incas, some of the old Incas like Joe Sinnott and what have you, if you watch them ink, actually, even if you were to watch John Buscema ink, there's stuff online. You can see how he inked, and it was all just so damn fluid. And I think it's because they didn't think about it. They just got on and did it. And as far as they were concerned, whatever came out, came out. So they pressurized themselves less. And because they pressurized themselves less, their work was just that much better, I think. Which way am I going with that? I have to lift that. So is anyone here from Twitch? Don't think so. Hi, Darren. It's the first time I've ever been on Twitch. Perhaps I don't know. Perhaps I should get naked or something. I don't know. What do you do on Twitch? Don't fill in. So what I'll do is I'll have a good look back at this once it's gone to YouTube and I've got the copy of it, and I'll see how the cameras work, because this is the first time I've gone live with OBS and with the camera set up on there. So once I've worked that out, I can get it so that hopefully the light isn't in your eyes while you're watching, because I did that a bit late because I was sitting watching TV with my wife instead of getting myself ready. But you've got to do the important things, spend that time with the family. I really do love these pens. They're not quite a brush pen. I mean, technically they are brush, because you can see from the nib. You know, put it up here. You see that from the nib. It's quite long for a fine pen, but it's just got a really great soft nature to them. I'm going to be buying another 10 next week, because I've got to get onto Outliers inking soon. I should have the first 24 pages penciled this week, finished up this week. And then I'll be inking up a few more pages for Only Death Can Save Us issue 2 for Arrow Comics. And then once all that is done, I'll have even more Outliers work. So I use these pens as small finishers like this. You can see much here. So just this area here where I'm using the small flicks. They just they've got a really nice feel to them. And then when I'm inking, I wouldn't use a brush pen as much on this. In fact, the paper on this, some of the sketch covers you get, the paper's a bit greasy, and it doesn't work well with real ink. You know, with traditional ink brushes. But this paper might actually stand it, so I may use a bigger brush pen, a proper brush at the end. But for the moment, this brush is doing everything I need it to do, because, like I say, it's quite reasonably detailed, because it's actual size as against 1.5 times up as you would normally do in an inking or a page. So there's no real need for it, and these brush pens do the trick. Absolutely love them. What we got going on? I don't think they're cheating. I'm sure that's tongue in cheek. Yeah, yes, yeah, really, really waxy. Yeah, it's they're very hard to work on. But this is fine. This is lovely. Really nice to work on. And Jason, I submit to your prowess with a brush. I've never been that confident with brushes, and I've found brush pens to do exactly what I want them to do. So that's my fault. That's my inadequacy. But I'm comfortable with it, so I'll carry on working with them. Nice one, Jason. I'm always impressed with people who can manage a brush, a proper brush. Um, I I developed my style via the digital process. Part of that is just the fact that I was scared of real brushes, um, but also a part of it was just bringing myself up to speed with my own style, let alone anything else. Um, and now I've found that I'm starting to experiment more in the real world to the point that now my work is, I'm doing digital pencils, and then pretty much all of my stuff at the moment is traditional inks. Well, I would say traditional, real inks out in the real world. I just use brush pens to do that. My favourite brush pen at the moment, I've got a Pentel um, pocket brush. That's just that's quite nice. The pocket brush is quite nice, but it's not the be all and end all. The one that I use, the one that I've really gotten into, is this one. I can't remember the name of it. Japanese, absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful lines you get off it. Yes, exactly, Jason. Yeah. That's what I'm doing. That's what I've come to. It's funny how we both come to the same process, and that gives me exactly what I want from my work. Exactly what I want from it. So I might fill in with a bigger brush later. Should have started on the other side. Rookie mistake. But I'll get used to it. You got to start somewhere, haven't you? Finish that off up there. Oh, it's deathly quiet. Okay. Okay. I met Randy Zimmerman way back when I was like 16. He introduced me to how comics are created. I started out inking with Crocus Cop, and after a couple of years, I started experimenting with the brush. After a while, I felt comfortable enough to use the brush all of the time. Well, I'm impressed. Yeah, that'd be great if you. Yeah. Please do. I'd be really interested to see that. Randy is an amazing guy. I've managed to spend a bit of time with those guys over at Indie Vault, and Randy offered to reprint the Only Death Could Save Us books, and I was I was flattered. I was like, wow, he thought that they were good. I mean, he's been around the business. He knows what he's talking about. So how could I say no? Oh, dead air. That's not good, is it? Doesn't make for a good stream. You see other people talking while they're working. I don't know how they do it. Like I say, next time I'll sort some music out so this is something to jiggle along to while I'm working. I must admit, after having I haven't done a sketch cover in a little while, and after doing quite a lot of real world inking recently, this is, I won't use the word easy, don't like that word. It's just so much, it feels so much more natural than the last time I picked up a sketch cover to do, which is very cool. I like the feel. Glad I started doing things in the real world and not just digitally. Oh wow. Yes, my mic is low. Yes, sorry. I'll try that. And now that light's in the way. There you go. Try that instead. Oh, I'm so boomer tonight. There we go. So yes, Randy's great. I was part of the second version. Wow, back in the day. Caliber, excellent. Jones and Carl Hotz, which is the majority of my inking gigs. Yeah. Well, we can talk. Yeah, we can talk all night about the fact that is the mic bare, Leroy? Let's go audio. I can't turn it up. Sort that light out next time. I got this great desk light. This it goes from it just. Oh, I can't get it to do it. Boomerang again. Um, it's supposed to have several shades of light. Very good, but it's like daylight when your mic isn't in the way. I'm gonna have to sort this out. I'm gonna have to go and look at some other people's setups, see the way they do it. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I was like I was saying, like this comics are just not what they used to be. Seems everything has to have a message these days instead of just being fun. Um, that's like I don't really care what other people put in their comics, to be honest with you. Um, I just want to have fun with mine. Um, and entertain. You just want to tell stories. And I know that comics, you can have, there's so many different things you can put in comics. But for me, I suppose it's all about the stuff I loved as a kid. I just want to see action, fantasy, adventure because it's the stuff you can do in comics that you can't do anywhere else. Still, even with amazing CGI and film budgets nowadays, it's still there's still something special about the kind of stuff you can do in comics that you can't do anywhere else, in my view. It's special. Okay. Do, 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 do. Done Ninja. Nice to see people turning up. Thanks very much for coming to see me. Hiya, George. So, like I say, next time round, I'll get this rig sorted out. I tried playing with it earlier on. I'm running it through OBS so I can have these multiple screens running at the same time. But I'll see if I can get some much better camera angles for the next outing. There we go. Of course, I can't really see too much of what's going on over on that screen over there that you're looking at because I don't have my glasses on because I draw without my glasses on. A bit like my training. Don't train with glasses on either. I've seen people do karate training with glasses on. I could never quite understand how they could do it. I always used to sweat my nuts off. There's no way I could keep a pair of glasses on, for Christ's sake. Oh, I'm quite pleased with that. Looks good. Oh yeah, yeah. I miss word balloons on covers. That may be something I do at some point in the future. Left it off for the moment, but I have put like extra strappings on and stuff like that. So the way they used to do in the old comics. They'd have some strap line about the most amazing cosmic event ever, or our hero. Are they really on the way to death? Or whatever. Just pack that excitement on the front cover and not just have some admittedly often beautiful picture on a cover, but it means nothing to the rest of the book. I was like, what's that all about? I'm very much an advocate of comics being pulp, and even though, you know, by the very act of making a graphic novel, it's not pulp anymore. I still think the basics, the the original concept of comics should be kept alive. In fact, it's the way that it keeps the medium exciting, I think. Leaning on those initial concepts and the way that stories were built. I mean, really, all canon is just the clever abilities of a good writer adding to the story. And that used to happen on a weekly and a monthly basis. And you'd come back for more. So it's that kind of storytelling you want. Not that I know much about that. I've only just got into the foray, my first foray into the field of writing. And then I got a writer to help me out anyway. So talking of which, the fact files. So in the Arrow comics, in the reprints, there are going to be kind of like a bit like the Lord of the Rings, where if you've read the Lord of the Rings, you'll know that they have incidental songs and poetry, and they give you a deep insight into the lore and the world of the Lord of the Rings and the other books, like the Silmarillion and the Hobbit and what have you. And that's the kind of thing I wanted, loosely based on some of the fact file stuff that DC used to do. So they'll be appearing in the reprints, and they will be available to everybody who backs the second book. They'll all be put into the second book for everybody. So the second book will be, again, it will be, I would say, at least 96 pages. And we'll have those in there, and they like I say, they increase the depth and breadth of the world that Only Death Can Save Us is set in. But I sent the second one off to Rick today, and as I think I mentioned last week, I got the plot back so that I can actually plot out all the pages before the script goes in. So we're doing it old school. And I'll plot all the pages out for Only Death Can Save Us. So I'm sort of musing over what I'm going to do with that when I get my penciler mitts on it. Yeah, I can understand, George. I can understand how you might have missed out. Yeah, I think Lord of the Rings is definitely it's an acquired taste. It's not for everybody. Not everybody who loves fantasy is going to love that book. To be brutally honest, the first book was very wordy. Not a huge amount happened in it. But it was a story setup, and as long as you were in it for the long haul, then it worked. So it would be really easy to pass those things by the way. But I use it as way of an example as to the kind of the world building. So rather than just sticking it in a story, you can kind of give a kind of a backstory without having lots of info dumps within the pages. So it is by its nature an info dump, but it's done in such a way that it's entices you into to find out more about the world rather than forcing you to read it in a script when you're really hungry to move the story forward. So I'm definitely buying more of these pens. They're fantastic. They're certainly very good for this. I think I'm going to get one of the brush pens. So what have I got? Yeah, I've got a Tombow water-based brush pen, mid brush pen. That'll probably do for filling in when I get to the end here. Yeah. So I've got this floppy glove because the fingers are too long, or perhaps I've got stubby, short, fat fingers. I don't know. I'm sure it's nothing to do with me. This can't be. But I've got a perfectly fitting glove, but I've lost it. I don't know what I've done with it. It's probably after drinking some of this. Cheers, everyone. Oh, that's nice. See, the other great thing about streaming late at night is it does give me a really good excuse to drink. This is going a bit quicker than I thought it would. It started off a bit slow, but it's working well. You see, even though they're just basic pens, really, they still manage to give you a nice change in line weight for a thin pen. They're fabulous. Totally recommend them. And they're great for fine detail because I don't really like using, super fine liners. That's not really me. I like a broader stroke, a thicker line. So these are perfect for the fine stuff when I am inking pages. And they seem to be working really well for this. Just finish off my point. I think I went off on one. I was talking about inkers earlier, like traditional inkers, and that's really where I'd love to be. I'd love to be able to lay down a much looser sketch, and then go to my inks and ink the way like John Boosma used to ink, just like not giving a shit, because he was superbly confident in his abilities, as the man should be. And the other inkers of the time as well, but obviously he wasn't so much an inker as he was a penciler, but he did ink his own work, and it was spectacular. But he was just so natural with it, and that's what I'd really like to get to. But in order to do that, I've got to go a long way. And so at the moment, I'm doing more detailed pencils because I'm not as confident at the inking end. I mean, it ends up with I think, a reasonably good finish, but it does take me a bit longer, and I'd love to be able to get to a point where I can do those looser pencils and be confident enough to just go, sod it, I'm going to go a brush with this. Yeah, Ernie Chan's work is just another level, isn't it? I like talking so much that one of the times I was in England. Yeah, Oxford's quite a nice place. Oxford's a lovely place. Thank you very much, Dojo. Thank you. That's really nice of you. But I think we should all stay honest, if you're, I'm sure even the mighty John Buscema, whichever way you want to say it, had his own idiosyncrasies and his own little ways of not being confident. I think if you become supremely confident, then maybe you lose the hunger for getting better. And he always seemed to, just like everything he did, he just got better and better and better. So I think there's confidence and there's arrogance, and what you've got to do is you've got to walk a fine line between the two, so that you become confident enough to get on and get the work done and leave it, not be obsessive. And I'm a little obsessive, which is why I do the digital pencils, and want to get them to a point where I can ink them myself, and then get confident with that ink. But sort of, like I say, not crossing the line into arrogance, constantly looking to improve, constantly looking to other artists to see what they're doing, not necessarily to copy them. I think in some ways that is where your confidence lies, is, not going, oh my God, that looks really good, I must do that, I must add that to my style. You've got to kind of measure out what's best for you. There you go. And not just what catches your attention. And I think maybe inexperienced artists or younger artists, not younger doesn't always mean that they're going to make the mistakes, because some people just turn up uber talented, as soon as they're getting on with their work. You can see that from some of the guys in the 90s, just how talented they were at such a young age. But there's lots to be gained in experience, and eventually your confidence grows. Like I say, that hopefully the wisdom of age stops you from being arrogant with it, which is never a good look. But always looking to other artists to see what they do, just if nothing else, just to see the way that they work, or try and understand the way they see the world, so you can maybe pick something up. Like I say, you don't have to add every stylistic effort or nuance. Just appreciate the way they work and think, oh, maybe that's something I could do, but without being constantly, your eyes constantly being drawn to a piece of their style that you think, oh, I must add that in. I must do that to my work. You see the way, I don't know, some example of, see the way somebody draws a female face, for instance, or the way they might render a material. And you think, oh God, that's great, but it just might not suit your style. So you have to be selective about what you add in and what you don't. And like a lot of artists back in the 90s, I wanted to be Jim Lee. But only Jim Lee can be Jim Lee. Although there's a lot of people that try really hard, and it took me a while. I mean, I got the letter back from Marvel, and they loved my work and all the rest of it, but it didn't turn into anything for me. And actually, I went away and I had a career and did the stuff I did, and I found myself being far more mature about my work when I came back, and I think my work's better for it. So yeah, what was the real chance of me becoming any kind of superstar or anything like that? Only a few people get that, and it was a hard time as well when the 90s hit. The problems in the 90s. So maybe I did the right thing. I don't know. Maybe that was right for me. I certainly feel quite comfortable with it. And I feel like I benefited from being more mature when I finally got my opportunities. It's worked out quite well. Hasn't it? Yes. Humble and appreciative. I've got to make this up because it's rubbed itself off. I've actually got to make something up with an ink pen. Oh my God, the pressure. Yeah, I think it's important. We get. I don't know. You see, I don't get why so many people in the industry now are such arseholes. And that's not just that. I don't think that's the majority. I think there's a lot of great people in comics. I think those people that seriously want to be here, they're doing it out of love. They're doing it out of a love for the medium. Okay, and that doesn't mean you can't make money out of comics, because you can. All you got to do is be good at it and market yourself properly. Get out there and do it. Although it's still never easy, but yeah, I mean, I don't get why so many at the top end are so weird. I just don't get it. But all you can do is be kind and appreciate that everyone has a reason. Just be nice and do your own thing, which is what I'm trying to do. Although there's no harm in the occasional rant. We're all human. I'm going to change that. Right. Strike lines. A bit of flash. Ding, 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 ding. Okay, not far now. Nearly done. This is an homage to an old Iron Man cover. It's a Bob Layton cover. And funnily enough, I showed this to Randy. We were talking about Randy Zimmerman. And he immediately recognised it and told me what the cover was. The guy's just so knowledgeable. Sometimes feel a little left out because, you know, I love the comics that I love, but I'm no historian. So there's things that I will have missed, and I'm absolutely abysmal with names. So I know what I likes, but I likes what I know. And I don't know an awful lot. I'm not very good at retaining factual stuff. I think there's like room in my head for about 17, 18 kata. And then everything else is just goo. Okay, last panel. And then we're on to just a bit of filling and I'm done. Because this is just black and white. I'm not doing any shades. I don't do colour stuff. I tend to let other people do that. There's a definite skill set in colours which I'd love to learn more about. But to be frank, I don't have the time. So much of my work is line work, and I just have to get on and do it. So I don't get a chance to learn so many other techniques that I'd like to. I play with stuff whenever I can, but it's difficult to find the time, which is a good thing. Can't complain. Can't complain. Got lots of work on at the moment. Here we go. Do straight lines. Do. Do a little Rolf Harris impression. Can you guess what it is yet? I don't know if Australians count him as a real Australian or not. I think he's still in the nick. For doing very bad things. Right. Okay, I've got a. Where's my ruler? Where's my roller ruler gone? There it is. Here's a roller ruler. It's another piece of low tech that I use. They're great, these things. I used to use them. I used to do layouts and art direction for a large retail group called Argos that Americans won't have a clue what I'm talking about, or unlikely to, or Australians as well, just the Brits. And Argos grew out of something called Green Shield Stamps. And it effectively became a shop where you could buy out of a catalogue on the spot. And I used to do layouts for them back in the early 90s. And that's when I first started using a roller ruler, because believe it or not, you used to have to draw every product. So I'd do a layout where I drew every product on the page, and then I'd have to organize the photography of those products. Backgrounds, lighting, that kind of thing, work with the photographers to get the products shot and into the brochure. And I also used to have, alongside drawing the layouts in, obviously get all the graphics on and all the text for the products. But this was before desktop publishing. So it was all done on a layout sheet, specially printed out. And then we'd have art boards, and you'd lay down images, and you'd trace the images onto a sheet of tracing paper, and then mark on color markups for CMYK 4-color repro. And that was the way it worked back then. And the worst job in the world was drawing bloody jewelry, because you used to have to get that exactly right. So you'd have to go on a rostrum camera. Funny enough, it was called because it was photomechanical transfer, which is what it was used for. But we also used to use it to blow up imagery so that we could trace it onto the page to get the layouts right for the photographers. And they were called PMT machines. So certainly made me fucking grumpy. And we're getting close to the end here. This pen is nice. What one was this again? The Tombow, water-based Tombow. Certainly for scale, I wouldn't use it for inking. Not now I've discovered those other pens, my Japanese pens. But certainly for this stuff, it's great. Jobs are good. Go. Do that. I'm gonna have a sneaky drink. Must get that light out of your eyes for the next session. I have to play with that. You always end up missing something. It's like putting the Christmas decorations away after Christmas. You always end up leaving one. And they sit there for the whole bloody year. Even though the loft hatch is just like 10 feet away from me. Okay, works. There. I'm done, I think. That's it. There we go. The shadow there. There we go. All done. Good night's work. So I'll just show that a bit closer to the camera, maybe. There we go. So you can see all the bits there. So all I've got to do now is just rub it down. So I'll probably leave that till the morning. I'll get a putty rubber on it and get the pencil marks off, and we're done. Right. Okay. Jim, your the check's in the post. No, your work is going in the post tomorrow, good sir. I got some response from the other people that I posted through, and everything's cool, which means I can now post you your artwork. Thank you for being so patient. Will this be available? I hope Marks and Spencer's would come to the US. Love to go Marks and Spencer's. Oh dear, Marks and Spencer's. Yes, yeah, they do some nice stuff. So, oh, do you know what? I've seen a bit I've missed. There you go. I'll fill it in with this one. Told you there's always a bit. There's always something. Fortunately, I got it before next Christmas. I think I'm going to fill that in because that looks nice. Yeah, that works. Anything else? Yes, that needs filling in. That's better. Yeah, picked it up. Good. There's always something. Okay, so that's it. That's me done. What have we had? Note. Thank you very much, Lee. Oh, yeah, thank you, Leroy. Just in case you missed it. There you go. Thank you, George. Thank you. Thank you so much, Todd. Right. Okay. That's me done for the evening. Where are we at? Yeah, so just over an hour, which works out just perfectly because that was what I was hoping it was going to be. Not quite sure what I'll be doing next week. I might actually be doing some digital penciling next week. And if I have anything in the any impromptu ones in the meantime, I'll just come online. But I think probably I'll keep it to a Monday night, and I'll be doing something different every week. So, hey, Sugar, how are you feeling? You feeling a bit better now? We always find one with hooks. We put everything away, we just throw it out, and of course the following year, yeah, yes, yeah, absolutely nailed it. Although I've been to South America and Southern Carolina, I've never been to overseas. I hope to get this. Yeah, do you know what? The UK's okay. It's not a bad place to live. I think it gets a bad rep, just like America does. You know, it's like it's easy to criticize something when it's got so many moving parts, and there are so many good things about the UK. So many good things about America. I think there's so many good things about the UK that people tend to miss and just complain a lot. But we've got a lot of complainers over here, so what can I say? Thank you very much. Yes, that's why I've got to get to the end of the show and do all the normal things. Thank you very much, Leroy. Yes, you can. If anybody's watching us on the replay, first of all, thank you to everybody who's joined me for this evening. That was really, really nice of you. This is the inaugural Enter the Dojo, where I put something on the board and show you how I produce stuff live while I'm doing it. So this will be regular. It'll be regular on a Monday night, and if I have time, I'll show some other stuff. You can always go to my channel on YouTube, Comic Book Black Belt, and see the production videos for Only Death Can Save Us, for some of my old stuff. I've got some Marvel stuff up there, some Doctor Who, some Ben 10 breakdowns, all that kind of stuff, different styles. You can see that. Also, there's lots of Outliers stuff there. So stuff that I'm doing with Joe Fulton at the moment. You can see me if you're watching this for the first time. You have no idea who I am. You can also see me on Joe's live stream. We do a live stream together on a Thursday. So it's Joe Fulton's channel. So that's Fulton Land. You can find that on YouTube. You can also find me loitering around with Sim and Sugar. And I pop in to see them on their live show, Doodle and Chill. And also Sugar Chris's show, where they do a rather nice morning coffee event, which is lovely. So I go see those guys. They're great. You should go check those channels out. I'll try and get more stuff in the descriptions, but you know these people, they're all around. But if you haven't watched my stuff before, check out russleach.com or comicbookblackbelt.com, or you can go to onlydeathcansaveus.com and you can find out about me and about my stuff and about the book that's out currently. You can go find out more at Arrow Comics once they've got their website sorted out. Arrow Comics also have a YouTube channel as well, and also Indie Vault. So I spend some time over there on Indie Vault. The next time you'll see me live will be on Thursday over at Fulton Land, and we'll be showing some more artwork, original artwork, because I should have the pencils for the first 24 pages finished pretty much by the time we go live on Thursday. Maybe one last page, but it will be done this week, which is great. And then we'll be moving forward with that. So yeah, if you could give a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. Thank you. If you could subscribe to the channel, that's great, because I'm up at around 709 now, and it'd be fantastic if I could get to 1,000 subs. And hopefully by doing more of this live stuff, I'll be able to do that. Because finding the time to do videos is really difficult. I will have a video up very soon. I've got a debrief video about the campaign and about the production of Only Death Can Save Us, so that might interest some people if they've got their own books that are coming out, or they want to produce their own books and start crowdfunding campaigns. Hopefully there'll be something of interest for people that want to come see that. You can find me on Twitter and on Facebook, and all the normal places. So I think that's it for me tonight. I think I'm going to leave it there. Thank you very much to everyone who's come. It's been absolutely brilliant. You guys are great. And anyone who's seen me on Twitter, if you were on Twitch and you saw me, I don't know if there were anybody. Thank you very much for watching. It's my first time on Twitch as well. So thanks to everybody, and I'll see you all again on Thursday in Fulton Land, and possibly on Indie Vault, and then I'll be back again Monday night with another Enter the Dojo. Thanks very much, guys. That's it from me, and I'll be going out just about now. Bye-bye.